Hi guys. When it comes to removing stuff from a photo, stamping things out as it's sometimes called, I sometimes notice that, even good photographers, experienced photographers, they kind of lack what I find is they usually try to stamp out too much. Yeah, there are other ways to make these things easier. I'm going to take this photo here and I'm going to remove a few elements from this photo just to show you how I choose to do it. Let's take a look. Okay, here I have a few things. I would like this pole here. Let's start with something easy. And this is not that complicated. There is a thing called paths tool. Here it is. I would maybe just try that out. Start with that. Do it like this. Yeah, it kind of works. So in this case, I would maybe take the stamp and fix something if I see some repetitive task or some bruising, some strange things I want to remove. But here's the thing. Very often I find that people overdo it. You see, now I'm at 400%. I'm zoomed in 400%. But this only has to work in 100%. So now I don't see any trace from this post that was standing here. And here's another one. This is maybe a little bit more complex. Let's try the same method. Maybe it won't work because, well, let's see. Let's go here maybe, like this. Well, yeah, it's fine. I have this repetitive pattern, so I'm just gonna take the stamp and try to deal with that somewhat. Now I'm just giving the rocks a little bit of a different color and fixing the line here, something like that. Maybe close this gap here like this. Here's a little bruising in the shadow area. Take that, something like that. Check it at 100%. Yeah, I see no trace of this here, but there is this area here which is not nice. So I would probably just do this with the stamp. At least I would try it. I sample here at the fence, and then I try to reconstruct the fence over. Here, a little bit too big. Let me see. Here, let's see. Just try to maybe lower the opacity a little bit. I have the flow at 53%, but maybe lower the opacity a little bit too. So, gradually work these things in, not like come in blazing. That's usually not a good method for using the stamp tool. So here we almost are, and it's a little soft, not a deal breaker, but let's see if we can use the healing brush tool to fix that. Because what the healing brush tool, it reintroduced texture, something like that. Let's see it at 100. Looks fine, no issues. Okay, so let's see with this person here, it's a little bit of a bigger area. So what I usually try to do here is I copy, let's select an area a little bigger than the person is. Maybe a lot bigger, like that. I'm gonna copy this, copy and paste, and then I'm gonna move it over like that. And I'm gonna drop down the opacity a little bit so I see what I'm doing. Like that, I think. Maybe it's, maybe I was made a little bit too small of an area, but let's try it. I'm gonna use the eraser tool. I'm gonna make a big brush with completely soft edges. Oh, this is too big. This is too small. There we go. So now I'm just gonna, too soft. I'm just gonna erase, blend in the edges a little bit, like that. Something like that. It's almost good enough. Let's make it a little larger and see. I really don't see any problems with it. You know, maybe if I take the stamp to like be careful with obvious repetitions or something like that. Oops, not move it. Like this. Yeah, I'm looking for the, let's look at it at 100%. So I can see here and here, this is completely identical. So it's a little obvious, so I just work on that a little bit. Maybe it's a little too soft and too big. Something like that. Let's look at it again. Like this. But then we have like this flagpole here. Let's see if we can do something about that. Well, the easiest way would be to like, let's see if we can select it. Let's take it just here. Not completely. And select the patch tool again. And then move it like that. Okay. It's okay. It's not great, but let's see if we can fix this. Fix the mountaintop here, and then we have some ugly patterns here in the mountain itself. I just slide it, take a sample away from it, and just slide it down as the direction as stuff goes to. Something like that. Here we have a problem in the roof, so I just build the roof edge again with a stamp like that. Here I have another problem with the roof. Let's see if we can build that like this. Here and like this. So this is stamped out. So I guess I'm gonna have problems with the window. So let's see if I can do similar thing like I did before. I'm just gonna copy this window and move it over like that. Find a good spot for it, and then I will use the eraser tool to erase what is not Knead it. Like that. Like that. Soften the edges. Like that. And then I just have the small thing here. And I feel like maybe this window should be a little bigger. There's a line here because it's coming closer. So maybe it should be a little taller. Like that. Let's see how that goes. Then I would just, well, let's try the patch tool. Like that. Like this, and then the stamp tool to fix the problem areas. Something like that. And let's look at it at 100%. And it just looks fine. There's no issues. Flagpoles is gone. And well, the thing is, you could see some trace if you know where to look and you just zoom in and you look for it. But you have to do that to be able to see it. And another thing, here is this dickhead here. You can see the head of him, this dickhead. He opened the gate, so there's an issue there. So let's see if we can add a gate here. And how? Well, let's try to pull this lasso tool here, something like that. Here, like this. Here, let's take the shadow. There's a slight shadow here. I wanna have that also. So again, we copy and we move this here. Now, few problems. Let's try to scale this down a little bit, make it fit. It's not gonna be perfect, but at least it's gonna be a gate. And then we have issues with, well, it should be higher, like that. Okay, then we have issues with the handle. There shouldn't be, let's take off the handle. Even there's a handle, it just looks too much alike. So let's take that off. I'm gonna add a new layer here. It's often good to make stuff on a new layer so you can easily take a step back and fix stuff without doing too much damage. Okay, here I need to fix the hardness. I need a sharp line here at the top, and like that. And here, this is gonna make it fit. Something like this. And this actually looks good, but what you see, what you can see inside, like the bars here, is different. So how am I gonna fix that? Well, I'm just gonna try to do easy. I'm gonna select, this is just a box. I'm gonna select this and just cut it out. Oh, here it is. Cut it out. So the real background is behind it. Like that. Because here I can see the church behind this gate. And there is no church where this is now. So I'm just going to like that. And then even if I move it, it's still gonna work. So let's look at it at 100%. And there's no issue with this, looks fine. But because the dickhead, he actually left the gate open, so let's just remove him altogether. And for that, stamp should work fine. Gonna a little bigger brush, like so, and oops, like that. something like that. Yeah, there's some issues here. Let's get a smaller, like that. No, much smaller. More, like that. And just stamp this here out. So there's no trace. So that's it. That is basically what I would remove. And as you can see, you know, there was a person here. This gate wasn't there. It's a little hard line on the gate. So I would probably do like let me see. I would probably when I selected the box, I would go to select and smooth edges to smooth it out a little bit, if it matters. But it's like when you zoom into 100%, you're not going to notice it. Now I'm at 400% again, so I see it, definitely see it, and so it kind of depends on how much work you're going to put in it. So let's try to erase the edge here with a slightly okay, there's like that, something like that. Now it looks better. I softened the edge a little bit, and these are just like cleanups you need to do, but overall it would have been impossible to stamp this area, and also with the person to remove it, to stamp it out like with the clone stamp, it's gonna show. There's gonna be repetitive patterns, and it's gonna be like a little blurry. So when you can, always copy an area which looks like the area you're going to put it on, and then fix that and blend that together. It's usually going to offer much better result than to clone it. You know, just use the clone stamp to finalize stuff. You know, not to do everything. That's the best advice I can give you with using the clone stamp to remove big objects from a photo. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.